Welcome back to your Delta News on Fox. Right now we are currently taking a live look outside. We are facing north over the Mississippi River from Highway 82 bridge on this morning. Lots of sun out there. It's so beautiful outside. If you are heading out this morning, you have a great view ahead of you. Clay, can you give us an update of this weather? So much weather alerts going on today though.
Yeah, Faith, there's a lot going on the East Coast, but for us back towards the Delta, we are remaining dry and clear. Going to have beautiful blue skies all day long. We have a lot of dry air locked into place across the Delta into the southern plains and much of the southeast, other than Dorian. Dorian is the only exception. Right now, just off the coast of South Carolina, starting to churn, getting really close to Myrtle Beach, just passing to the east of Charleston right now. But we have some heavy rain bands starting to move into the coast, and we have that onshore flow as well, which is bringing in storm surge from Charleston all the way up to Wilmington. And we also have had some isolated tornadoes in eastern North Carolina and parts of South Carolina as well, with these heavier bands moving in. So there are tornado watches in effect for much of eastern North Carolina and parts of eastern South Carolina as well. So the main threats from this for the rest of the day is going to be flooding rain. There's going to be a flash flood potential right along the coast. And then as this gets closer, we're going to have those hurricane to tropical force winds start to move into the area as well. So we could see some wind damage. And of course, you always have to worry about the storm surge with these kind of storms. But tracking Dorian out over the next couple of days, currently still a Category 3 hurricane with 115 mile-per-hour sustained winds, expected to weaken a little bit to a Category 2 by the time we hit later portions of this evening. And look how close it's going to get to the coastline. So we cannot rule out a landfall somewhere between a little bit north of Charleston, anywhere to the outer banks of North Carolina. And by Friday morning, it's going to be about just to the east of Wilmington, and then it starts to pick up speed and head out into the Atlantic Ocean. So we'll finally get Dorian out of our hair, which is great, and I am excited for that. That way we can start cleanup efforts both in the Bahamas and the East Coast. But moving back towards the Delta, we're at 78 degrees this morning, dew point at 73, making it feel like 81 degrees. And for Greenwood, it's 77, that dew point at 72, humidity at 84%, and feeling like a tick below 80 degrees. So it's going to be a warm and humid day. And for the rest of the region, 77 right now in Little Rock, 74 down in El Dorado, and for northern Louisiana, we're in the mid-70s, 76 in Monroe, and heading back to the Delta of Mississippi, already in the 80s in Clarksdale with 81, 76 in Jackson, and like I mentioned earlier, we're already at 78 degrees in Greenville. And looking at the Mississippi River level in Greenville, 29.5 feet today, well below the flood stage of 48 feet, and it's only going to drop 1 foot by the time we hit Tuesday to 28.5 feet. And looking at the Yazoo River at Greenville, 21.6 feet today, going to hold steady at about 21.7 feet. So steady does it for the river levels. We're looking good. And for the highs today, it is going to be another hot day across the Delta. Humidities are going to be pretty high, especially across the South Delta. 96 degrees in Hollandale, 94 in McGee, 90 in Charleston, and 93 in Carrollton. And with these heat index values reaching near 105, here's a couple of heat safety tips to keep you safe if you're working outside or have any outdoor plans today. Just make sure you wear loose-fitting clothing, take frequent breaks from work or exercise, drink plenty of liquids, avoid any alcoholic beverages, stick to water and Gatorade, and avoid direct sunlight. So if you can find a shade tree while you're outside, go and sit under it for 15 minutes and make yourself feel at home. And with all this heat, I bet you're wondering when fall is. Well, it's only 17 days away, and then, as Faith likes to call it, pumpkin spice season. So we'll get there in just 17 days, and for the 7-day forecast, it's just going to be hot and sunny throughout much of the week into the weekend and even early part of next week. What do you think about that, Faith?